Hello everyone, PrettyScoot here, and welcome to the last day of Switch Week. This isn't saying that I'm done with Switch altogether. No. 'Tis but the beginning. But through this small period of time I've had with the Switch, I figured I'd give some quick knowledge on what we have so far, talk about it, and discuss certain things about the Switch that I want to make points on. First thing I want to talk about is the major focus of the system that it wants. It is a home console with on-the-go console functionality. It will do this in spades, so it's a plus. Like right now, here's the Switch. Boom, there's Switch. You can look at it as much as you want. I'm that far in Zelda. You know where I am probably just by looking at my character. Regardless of that, even though even though the Switch boasts home console and on-the-play portability, there is something I do have to knock it for. The fact that when you take this thing from its portable state to console play state, which is right over here, the game slows down or becomes a little sloppy looking. Now this could be because of a couple things on my end as well. I am using a capture card that the best output it has is 720p 60 frames or 1080p 30 frames. That's a possibility. And that's my only way to view the thing, I should say. But I've had a couple people say that when they turn it into TV mode, things get a little not pixelated. They get a little, how do I want to say? They get a little less refined. Playable, perfectly playable, but not the quality that we have come to expect with, oddly enough, a lot of the Wii U games. But then again, when you're dealing with something that is basically a tablet that you can hook up to effectively what is it called? Oh, I used to know the name of it. The Google thing that plugs in your TV. When you have basically the possibility of having this becoming that streaming service, you know, there's going to be some sacrifices here and there between one system and another. All my time playing this game in the handheld mode compared to when I was recording for the console mode, what I do want to note is that controller-wise, there was a big difference for me personally. Again, this can be affected by my capture card delays or just what my delays and what I'm doing, one thing or the other. But while I'm playing this in the handheld mode, everything I push, all my responses, they are instant. They do happen instantly. If I'm playing off the TV with the controllers, it feels like if the controllers aren't connected directly to the system, these specific Joy-Cons, if they are not connected directly to the system, there's connectivity issues, and the system has trouble finding them via Bluetooth or whatever it uses in order to translate your actions from a controller that's over here while the controller is over here, or while the system is over here. Maybe that's just an early game struggles kind of thing. Maybe that's just me being nitpicky. I don't know, but that's just something I've noticed. Maybe that's fixed with the Switch Pro controller as well. I do not have one. Another thing I will mention, and that's what the cut was for a second ago, is these wrist strap things. You saw me do it in the video, but these I'm gonna call them stupid. These stupid wrist straps are not very well designed. They almost seem like a last minute thing. Because I showed you in the video, plus, minus. If you have a young kid, or if you're not paying attention like I was during the unboxing video, you can put these on the wrong way on the controller, and they get stuck. They lock in, and they get horribly stuck. Like, I've got a small mark in my desktop right now, right here, from where I've had to push down with force on the edge of this in order to get my Joy-Con back, because I put this on the wrong way. So much so that there's currently a viral video about how to remove this with paper clips if you put it on the wrong way. That is a bad design choice. So, but the boon I will say is that the nice thing for someone like me, whose computer has all of its resources robbed while it is rendering these videos that you're watching, for somebody that has that problem, or somebody who can't always be at their computer or be at a TV, this fixes a lot of the issues for those people, because it lets them continue to play their games while whatever they need to play it on is occupied. Which I can thank Nintendo a lot for. Because of the editing I do and the extensive edits I do in some videos, my computer gets locked up for 1 to 2 hours at a time, and I'm basically limited to Google searching or handheld play. Overall, I would say as of right now, the Switch itself, in its base form, it's still a hell of a lot better than the Wii U. Maybe even the Wii. Because I'm just thinking about what I own and what I got when I first got the Wii U. When I first got the Wii U, I had 2 games. Yeah, I had 2 games, 2 physical games, and nothing else. Nintendo Land and Tank Tank Tank. Nothing else was coming out for a while that made me want to continue buying games for at least the next couple months. The Switch, I have 2 physical games and 2 digital games. And I'm using this as like a first week launch kind of basis. Just so you guys can get a perspective. Now, I will also put on the table that a lot of people who are PC elitists or other system elitists will poke their fun at this, and in a sense they are warranted in poking their fun at the system. But I'm also on the other side of that, where I have most of the other consoles that are picking on the Nintendo Switch, and I love them. Like, I have an Xbox 360, yes, not an Xbox One, Xbox 360, I have a PlayStation, and I have a PC. All of them bring something different to the table. A PlayStation brings great exclusives. An Xbox 360 brings a catch-all for whatever the other systems don't cover. Plus, they are almost like a buffering for whatever comes to the PC, and a PC is a catch-all for everything that's non-exclusive. In that light, Nintendo basically said, there's all these people who have corners of the markets conquered. If we want to stay alive, we have to do something different to stay in the market. Right there. This thing right here. This is their edge in the market. Plus, Nintendo is doing a lot better with their handheld markets compared to their home console market. So merging their home console market into the handheld market somewhat keeps them ahead of the game. So I will say again, it's not the perfect system. It's not the best system. That will actually probably go to GameCube, to be honest. But it's still a good system that offers something to everybody. And as a little more, and because of how they packaged it with 2 Joy-Cons, it is a little more socially accessible from out of the box. But at this point, I've yammered on and I've rambled. The Switch can be a good system, and I want it to be a good system. Because the latter half of the Wii's life and the entirety of the Wii U's life was a flop. So I want Switch to be good so Nintendo can stay in. They just have to make a lot of really good choices and really keep pouring their heart into what they do. Like Breath of the Wild here. It's been 7-ish years, the entire span of the Wii U's lifespan, at least, for them to make a game that is, to make a brand new Zelda. And they poured their heart and soul into this thing so far, from what I've played. So there is a whole heck of a lot of potential here. But they're hard pressed to keep on that potential. What I will say though is, what I will say in closing is a Switch necessary right now? Not necessarily. Zelda Breath of the Wild, that's on Wii U. So unless you really want the gimmick game of 1-2 Switch or to play Bomberman, you have what you need in the Wii U as of now up through, I'm going to say, approximately May. So the Switch is not a dire need for you. If you're one to stay ahead of the curve and get ready for what's going to come instead of waiting until later when stuff comes out and worry about not getting a Switch when the time is pertinent to your interests, yes, then I might consider putting money at it if you can. Keep in mind, this slightly negative tone and all these bad things I've said about it come from the place of somebody who's been playing Nintendo since it first hit the market. So I've been in this for the long haul. But even with that, even with nostalgia as a factor, I can see flaws and I can see faults. If by some miracle a Nintendo employee is watching, do know that I support Nintendo until a bitter end. But even so, I'm allowed my criticisms. That's enough of that. I hope this week-long series of videos has helped you discern if you need to get at a Switch, or if you can wait a little bit, or if you just want to pass it all together. Whatever you do, I'm perfectly happy with whatever you choose. So from myself, Prey Scooter, and the end of Switch Week, thank you so much for watching. And tune in next week for a new series. Take care, everybody.